911, what's the location of the emergency?
My daughter is missing.
What's your address, ma'am?
She's gone. We can't find her anywhere. I've called all her friends.
How old is she?
11.
Okay, what's her name, ma'am?
Carlie, C-A-R-L-I-E.
And last name?
Brucia, B-R-U-C-I-A.
11 years old and full of life, Carlie Brucia disappeared on the evening of January 31st, 2004. Her story threw the whole nation into a frenzy as the darkness next door showed its head and something sinister gripped the serene town of Sarasota, Florida. But what exactly happened to Carlie? Was she just another troubled preteen in a dysfunctional house? Or did something wicked visit the sunny Sarasota town? Welcome back to True Crimes Unfolded, your ultimate destination for chilling true crime tales. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest videos. In the serene town of Sarasota, Florida, where the sun-kissed shores and gentle sea breeze painted a picture of tranquility and security, a shocking event was about to disrupt the peace that families had long taken for granted. Shocking the world, this tragic story started with a bright and loving 11-year-old named Carlie. Spending her life like any other 11-year-old, she loved adventure, sweets, and, of course, hanging out with her friends. Although her parents' marriage ended, Carlie loved and was loved by both of them. While she lived with her mother and stepfather, she spent weekends with her father, who lived in New York, described by many as one of the most amazing children. She is kind and happy. Carlie always seemed to want to spread her eternal optimism to everyone around her, a habit she was rumored to pick from her father. For an 11-year-old, Carlie is remarkably beautiful, blessed with blonde hair, blue eyes, and an upturned nose. Friends, relatives, and others saw her beauty and temperament, and they all predicted that she would one day become a well-known model or actress. Sadly, their expectations would be put to rest as the events of her life would shock everyone for years to come. So what happened? How did this ordinary 11-year-old shock the country to its core? It all started on January 31st, 2004, a day that ordinarily would be an unremarkable day. It was a weekend, and Carlie had decided to spend the night at a friend's place. As most 11-year-old hangouts went on, they engaged in traditional girlish activities and laughed at each other's company. But as the evening approached, the story began to take a sinister turn. See, like a scene straight out of Stranger Things, Carlie was eager to get home in time for a family gathering to watch the Super Bowl. As such, she left her friend's house at 6 p.m. This normally shouldn't raise any alarms, as her house is a quick 13-minute walk from her friend's. However, to everyone's dismay, tragedy struck as Carlie never arrived home. She was missing, and her family was in a state of anxiety, distress, and anguish. So what happened? Why did this child run away? Could it have something to do with her parents' divorce, or was something more sinister? As Stephen and Susan frantically searched for their daughter, their concerns ran through the roof as the hours went by. Carlie was quite responsible, at least as much as an 11-year-old could be. What could have possibly happened to her? As they desperately searched for the missing girl, Susan and Stephen scoured the streets and suspicious areas, hoping to find a clue. However, things took quite a confusing turn as suddenly they noticed something peculiar. A red tow truck moving slowly. Intrigued, they decided to follow it, and to their astonishment, it led them to Carlie's friend's house. The same tow truck that had been parked outside the house Carlie disappeared from was now stationed outside her friend's residence. The eerie sight sent shivers down their spines as they realized the gravity of the situation. Obviously shook to their core, they called the cops to report their missing daughter. Susan's call to 911 set off an immediate search, bringing together the whole community as they all searched for the 11-year-old angel. But sadly, Carlie remained missing. The police immediately split into teams, interviewing everyone involved and scrutinizing the area, but their efforts still yielded no trace of Carly. Soon the city was plastered with missing Carly flyers. The suspense and fear gripped everyone as the search for the young girl intensified, and rumors and speculation began to swirl throughout the town, heightening the nerve-biting tension. As time went on, suspicion clouded around Carly's stepfather, Stephen, as he distributed flyers in the neighborhood. After all, he wasn't her biological dad. Allegations quickly rose as he was accused of attempting to purchase illegal substances, which of course raised doubts about his involvement in Carly's disappearance. The authorities, along with the detectives, soon focused their attention on Stephen, deeming him a person of interest. Not long after, he was called in for questioning to shed light on his actions. Despite providing an alibi and evidence to support his whereabouts, Stephen remained under scrutiny, casting a shadow of suspicion over the unsettling case. So did the stepdad do it? The story gets even crazier. As the investigation progressed, Stephen soon recalled the strange appearance of a red tow truck around the time Carly vanished. After quick research, he stated that the truck belonged to Ron, who apparently was romantically involved with Carly's mother. Plot twist. Following this revelation, the police focused their attention on Ron, interrogating his whereabouts and investigating his alibi. Sadly, despite initial concerns, Ron's alibi was confirmed, leaving the investigators with no leads. The story took an even crazier turn when the police returned the next day to speak with Susan, Carly's mother. Conflicting reports emerged as Susan maintained that Carly had never run away before. However, her friends painted a different picture, describing Carly's sorrow and reluctance to return home. This revelation raised questions. What exactly was going on? The authorities were forced to confront the unpleasant possibility of Carly's voluntary departure while still being unable to completely dismiss the abduction theory. In order to provide total clarification, investigators asked Susan to call Carly's dentist and get dental records, which could be useful if identification is required. The next morning, police officers used police dogs to look for Carly. Susan and Stephen allowed the dogs' canine handlers into their daughter's bedroom. The dogs smelled the bedding linens and the girls' clothes before picking up the trail. They followed Carly's planned path from her friend's house to her own. Carly's tracks led investigators to a car wash, where Carly appeared to take a shortcut near the back entrance to the car wash. It was there that the hounds lost Carly's track. Luckily, the area was equipped with 2 cameras, one capturing the cars closer to the entrance and the other focusing on the farther area. Unfortunately, there were blind spots that eluded surveillance, leaving room for potential foul play. Despite the absence of footage from the entrance camera, the second camera, positioned in the far corner, unveiled a chilling sight. At 6:21 p.m., Carly appeared on the footage, walking towards the house with an air of tranquility. Clad in her familiar red t-shirt and blue jeans, she seemed unsuspecting. Suddenly, a figure emerged. A white-skinned, stocky man with dark hair and a distinct tattoo on his forearm. Donning dark blue work overalls, as if from a gas station or car service, the man engaged Carly before seizing her and dragging her out of the camera's view. This was the last known sighting of Carly. Desperate for answers, authorities launched a massive media blitz, plastering Carly's face on every newspaper and news broadcast. The public rallied, flooding a special call center with tips and sightings, but each lead fizzled into frustration, leaving Carly's fate as murky as ever. Then there was a breakthrough. A man named Joseph Smith emerged as a potential suspect. His strange demeanor and troubled past painted a sinister picture as colleagues whispered of his erratic behavior and shady dealings, casting a shadow of suspicion over him. Smith had been arrested numerous times, including 3 times for assaulting women. And apparently, At the time of Carly's disappearance, he was on probation. One of Smith's co-workers even reported that he had been acting strangely since Carly's disappearance, and the day before he had not shown up for his shift at all. Another co-worker verified that the man in the videotape greatly resembled Joseph Smith and stated that the day after Carly was kidnapped, Smith arrived at work under the influence of illegal substances. Smith's co-workers claimed Joseph was having problems at work due to illegal drugs and debt. Smith moved to Sarasota County from Brooklyn, New York in 2003. He worked as an auto mechanic and had been married but divorced twice. His 3 adult daughters were college graduates. He was 37 years old and had a long criminal record dating back to 1993. There were a number of charges, including solicitation of minors. As darkness descended on the small town of Sarasota, the police embarked on a desperate quest for clues. With Carly's abduction weighing heavily on their hearts, they turned their attention to the car wash surveillance footage, hoping to uncover a lead that would crack the case wide open. Amidst the flashing lights of the car wash cameras, a light-colored Buick station wagon appeared as a likely suspect. Its brief visit in the parking lot, barely minutes before Carly's disappearance, sent chills down detectives' spines. However, the poor footage provided no hard evidence, keeping the driver's identity a mystery. Undeterred, the police turned their full attention to Joseph Smith. As they approached his home, tension hung thick in the air. Joseph's surprise at being questioned revealed the uneasiness that was boiling beneath the surface. Under scrutiny, Joseph's alibi began to unravel, his claims of innocence crumbling in the face of mounting evidence. Fresh scratches marred his face and hands, while tattoos on his forearm bore a striking resemblance to those seen in the surveillance footage. So what happened next? In a chilling twist, Joseph's facade of innocence slipped away, revealing a darker truth lurking beneath the surface. As the police closed in, the town held its breath, waiting for justice to be served and for Carly to be brought home. But things once again took a dark turn. As the investigation delved deeper into the darkness of Carly's disappearance, chilling revelations emerged, painting a portrait of horror and despair. Joseph Smith's shifting alibi and suspicious behavior sent shivers down the spines of investigators. His borrowed car, tainted with illegal substances and ominous scratches, became a sinister clue in the puzzle of Carly's fate. But amidst the fog of uncertainty, a ray of hope emerged from an unexpected source. Joseph's longtime acquaintance. His damning testimony revealed Joseph's sinister desires and fueled the flames of suspicion. The man said that Joseph had recently been talking about his growing desire to assault women. After this conversation, police officers transported Joseph from the jail to the station for questioning. With each passing day, the truth loomed closer, threatening to unravel the fragile facade of innocence. Joseph's confession, whispered in the shadows of despair, shattered the silence with its gruesome details. After days of questioning and frustrated silence, Smith eventually confessed to his brother John. Unfortunately, what he told his brother reinforced everyone's worst suspicions. 5 days after Carly disappeared, Joseph's brother John decided to contact the police and reveal a dreadful secret. He revealed to the cops where Carly's body was. The inquiry determined that the death was caused by strangling. Detectives also revealed that Joseph abused Carly's body. The forensic test revealed evidence of Joseph's DNA on Carly's body, as well as fibers from Joseph's clothing and hair. 2 of Carly's hairs and many fibers of clothes matching the ones she was wearing that day were discovered in the automobile Joseph borrowed from friends, and Joseph was quickly charged with murder. To close the case, Joseph's mother even informed the police that her son had called her and admitted to what he had done. Following his charge, approximately a month before Carly's kidnapping, local officials asked a Florida judge to issue a warrant for Joseph Smith's arrest on a probation violation. The judge, however, denied issuing the warrant, citing the police's failure to complete the required documentation. Thus, the logic ran that if this man had been protected from society from the start, this tragic case might not have occurred. Little Carly would be alive and her mother would not have to go through everything. On October 24, 2005, Joseph Smith was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death for the tragic killing of Carly. His sinister past also linked him to the unsolved murder of Tara Riley in 2000, a case shrouded in mystery. Despite John's damning testimony against his own brother, Joseph remained defiant, refusing to admit to his heinous crimes. His cowardice and disregard for human life knew no bounds, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. In a twist of fate, Joseph's death sentence was overturned in 2017, sparking outrage and disbelief. Carly's mother, Susan, already reeling from the loss of her daughter, was shattered by the prospect of Joseph escaping justice. As the legal battle dragged on, Susan's despair deepened, eventually leading to her tragic demise. Her unwavering dedication to seeking justice for Carly was eclipsed by the unbearable pain of knowing Joseph might evade punishment.
We're learning that Susan Shorpen has passed away. Shorpen is the mother of Carly Brucia, the 11-year-old girl whose murder made national headlines in 2004.
Despite efforts to revisit his sentencing, Joseph ultimately met his end in prison in 2021, leaving behind a legacy of destruction and despair. The untimely deaths of Carly and Susan serve as a sobering reminder of the irreversible harm caused by senseless acts of violence. In the aftermath of this harrowing tale, one question lingers. How could such evil go unchecked for so long? The case of innocent Carly had heads spinning and for the longest of times had everyone afraid for the lives of their kids. It was a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring need for vigilance in the face of darkness. But what do you think? Was Joseph Smith's court case handled properly? And how scary do you think this reality is? Let us know in the comments section below. And of course, if you loved this story, why not like and subscribe to all the best true crime stories? Until next time, stay vigilant. Bye.